Hi everyone, I'm Adiha Sohail, Manager Internal Communications from the CCPA Department of LCI, and this is the very first episode of Inside the Core. Inside the Core is a short form podcast series that we are doing where we will be interviewing our BET members, our EMT members, people who lead us, people who we work with, but we don't get to know them much outside the work life. And today, for our very first episode, we have COO Atif Siddiqui of Pharmaceuticals Business at LCI. Atif has been in the pharmaceuticals business for about a decade, leading different organizations through strategical growth and transformation. Welcome to the podcast, Atif.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Adia. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you, Atif. So before we dive into your professional aspirations, because obviously that's going to come, we want to start with your childhood, who you are. We want to know your family more. So let's talk about that a bit. Your parents, siblings, whatever you want to say.
So thank you once again for inviting me. And I come from a close-knit family.
Okay.
We are 4 siblings.
Wow.
And in fact, if there would have been a number plate, then my number would have been 444 because I'm the 4th child of my parents, born on the 4th day of the 4th month.
Wow.
So that's how it is.
So it's 4 is the lucky number then.
I'm not sure, but that's how it is.
It surely is.
Well, talking about family more, so my father was a businessman, and my mother, like many other mothers, is a perhaps homemaker.
Okay.
And now, talking about the father or learning from how we grew up, how we evolved, perhaps, when your father is an entrepreneur or is into business, what you learn perhaps is how to adapt to resilience, how to navigate, in all good, great times as well as times which you don't foresee at times. My mother, I think, when you talk about my family, I think the highest inspiration which perhaps I get in my life even today is from my mother. My mother famously is called Valda, so that's actually how we
that's beautiful,
we name her, or we call her out when we are trying to interact with her. And however, she has been a homemaker, but I think with 4 kids, what I have noticed, and it's the same when it comes to my other siblings, is she always wanted us to act and perform as a strong team, and that's actually where perhaps I think what I learn and even practice today is, and it really works, especially in professional world, because it's not a one-man show, or
it never
is, you see.
Absolutely.
So that's the learning which I got perhaps while growing up with other 4 siblings of mine, and how my parents, or especially my Valda, used to keep the family united. As I'm the youngest, as I just said, among the 4.
What did you get the special treatment of being the youngest? Because that happens a lot.
That's something which I always wanted to.
But you never got it.
I doubt. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I think no. I think yes. If you're the youngest, then automatically perhaps you are the most pampered child.
And you also see your other siblings doing things, and you trace their life journeys, and then you get to see, okay, this is a mistake, this may be where I'll dodge it, and this is how I'm going to do things differently.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Because when you're the youngest, I think there's a lot of experience which lies ahead of you from where you can learn.
Exactly.
You're right. At times, and especially if your elder siblings are communicating with you continuously, which we do, because what I perhaps notice is, if there are families who do not communicate much, but in our families we communicate a lot.
Exactly.
So and if you're communicating, perhaps you're right. If the youngest, you get the maximum yield out of it, and it definitely impacts your life in a very positive way.
how many years it has been that you're married, and how's that going for you?
Well, the good part of the story is yes, I'm married, and the other even the best part is that yes, it has been good. Good 14 years perhaps.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah,
wow.
mashallah. I think this was 15. Sorry,
Oh, wow.
2010 it was. Yeah. So my wife is a homemaker as well.
Acha. Okay,
And perhaps it's an arranged marriage, and we got a chance to meet each other. Perhaps I believe we were in US. I was traveling and I was meeting my family, and their family is also in US, and that's how it started. So, and touch wood, mashallah, I think things are keeping good so far.
That's so great. Atif, whenever we talk about families, there is this thing that we have to ask, being in a corporate world and maybe in any profession, the work-life balance, we all seek that, and it's different for everyone. I want to know, how do you manage it? How do you see it? Because family is something that, we live for, obviously. But work is something that consumes us for the better part of us, right? Tell me about, how do you manage it?
Well, honest to God, it's a tricky question, because I'm not sure about others, but if you ask me, I think it has been a difficult task.
It is.
To keep a balance.
And it's also like different every day. Some day you can give a lot of yourself to your family. Some day you can take time out, but other days you just have to juggle both. It's different, right? So how do you see, like, is it a proportion for you, different proportions or something like that?
Well, honestly, I think there is no such formula to it.
Yeah.
But as I said, I think if you have a happy family life, or if you are able to spend quality time with your family, to be very honest with you, it reflects very positively on your professional work as well. So that's how I take it. So it's not that, if I'm having a great professional life, then I think it should have a positive impact on my family. No, I think it should be vice versa.
It's the
so perhaps to do so, yes, there are busy days, but as I said, I think once again, the best part of the story, which I'm repeating again once again, is that when we were growing up, the style of communication was inculcated in us. I try to keep it alive even today with my wife or with my my family now. So if there are busy days, I do keep them informed, and there are busy days. Yes, when I'm with them, I honestly try my level best to be a very patient listener, and no phones, because that's the biggest struggle nowadays. You see,
exactly.
At times, my friends or my colleagues even do complain that, what's the mobile phone for? Because it is mobile, you have to keep it always.
Actually, you're that sort of a person.
Yeah, because I think it's a bit disrespectful if you're talking to someone.
That's so true.
And you have your phone in hand. So and that's something which I don't like, so I don't practice as well. And I think this allows me to be mindful when I'm talking to the family.
Absolutely.
And yes, they might not be professionals like me or many of us, but honestly speaking, if you are mindful, talking to them patiently, they even teach you a lot.
It's a whole different world.
It's a whole different world, because they have their own they have their own concerns, they have their own challenges, and how they are managing it.
Okay.
And it's a great learning.
This was something about the family that God has given, but एक family वो होती है जो हम खुद बनाते हैं, that is friends. So I want to know about you as a friend. आपकी जिंदगी के बेहतरीन दोस्त जो आपको आतिफ सिद्दीकी को वैसे जानते हैं जैसे एक दोस्त होता है. So I want to know about that.
पता नहीं ये सबके साथ होता है या नहीं होता, लेकिन एटलीस्ट मैंने ऐसा नोट किया है कि जब आप ये जो दोस्तियाँ होती हैं वो ज़्यादातर आपके स्कूल एज में.
Exactly, that was something that I wanted to talk to you about. कि as we grow up in the adult life, is it difficult to cultivate new friendships? Because that's the case I have seen for so many people. Is it the case for you as well?
So well, as I said, I think ऐसा ज़रूर है कि जब आप छोटे होते हैं, क्योंकि आप नाइव होते हैं, आप there are no strings attached to anything.
There's no time also, honestly.
हाँ, जब आप तो आपकी दोस्ती बहुत ही अच्छी होती है और बहुत ही मतलब फ्री होती है.
True.
और आप जैसे जेन्युइनली होते हैं उस तरह आप लोगों से मिलते हैं या और उनसे आप वैल्यूज़ भी शेयर करते हैं, तो वो दोस्ती अपनी जगह है, वो आज भी कायम है. मेरे स्कूल के कई सारे दोस्त हैं. I went to St. Pat's and BBS actually. तो अभी भी माशाल्लाह हम लोग कोई मोटा कहने का मकसद तो 50-60 होंगे जो आज भी कनेक्टेड हैं. कुछ कहीं हैं, आते जाते रहते हैं, तो we try to keep a track.
And it's always the same when you meet them, the same energy.
Exactly, क्योंकि you don't have to think in advance or twice while meeting them. Now coming to second part of your question, नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. मैं अपनी पूरी कोशिश करता हूँ और लोगों को भी रिकमेंड करता हूँ कि जो पुराने दोस्त बन गए वो तो हमेशा होने चाहिए, लेकिन नए रिलेशनशिप्स को भी नर्चर करना चाहिए. और देखिए, आई थिंक प्रोफेशनली स्पीकिंग, अगर हम किसी भी प्रोफेशन में अगर हम नेटवर्किंग नहीं करेंगे, लोगों से नहीं मिलेंगे और फिर उनसे दोस्ती हो ही जाती है जहाँ पे शेयर्ड वैल्यूज़ होती हैं, तो वो मैं आज भी अपना पूरे ईमानदारी से करता हूँ और कोशिश करता हूँ कि नए रिलेशनशिप्स के लिए ओपन रहूं और दोस्तियां बनाऊं. ऑफ कोर्स फर्क होता है स्कूल की दोस्ती और आज की दोस्ती में, बट दैट डज नॉट मीन otherwise.
Every connection is different.
Is different. But the good part of the story is, when you interact, you get exposed, you learn. ये ज़रूरी भी होता है because the way everyone is evolving. अगर आप सिर्फ वहीं तक दोस्ती रखेंगे या उन्हीं के साथ रखेंगे जिन्होंने आपके साथ एक वक्त देखा है, क्योंकि पर्सनालिटी भी evolve होती है, तो this is how I try my best to keep a balance between the two worlds.
Now we want to talk a bit about obviously LCI, and the first thing that came to my mind, when I was researching about you a little, get to know you better. You were, a few years ago, you were also part of Nutrico Pakistan. You were connected to, LCI. And then you moved on to organizations like CCL Pharmaceuticals, mashallah, you led. And then there was Abbott as well, the organization. And then you came back. So LCI has this remarkable thing about it that everyone who leaves, almost everyone, in a certain point of their life, they come back to this organization. And being a part of it, I really want to know, what's that thing that made you come back?
So they are talking like, I'm not sure. I see many people, honestly, not only me, returning to
exactly that's the case.
अगर मैं अपने बारे में कहूँ तो देखें, most of my career perhaps has been with Abbott, either in Pakistan or abroad, working on various leadership roles. And this was the perhaps one of the reasons why I came back to Pakistan was also because the job which I was offered was at Nutrico, which was a joint venture of LCI with Morillard. Knowing people who have worked with ICI or LCI in the past, when I got a chance to interact with them, what they always used to mention me and value very high was the culture here.
Absolutely.
The culture of collaboration, the culture of openness. People don't feel afraid of talking their hearts out. I see even today many people have good friends. The relationships are such that they have evolved into great friendships within the organization. When that was the first time when I was exposed to this Nutrico, coming back from Switzerland, moving back to Pakistan, or after working for good 15-17 years at Abbott. So this is what I experienced in my first interaction, which made me realize that this will allow me to evolve further as a professional. And I think this was, I believe 2015, 2019.
Yeah.
And I was myself evolving, and I learned a lot. And I think the entire board then, my supervisors, they allowed me, to commit mistakes. They allowed me to learn from them. And they were open to new suggestions, new ideas, which perhaps, honestly, I always had that in mind, and that was perhaps the reason when I was, when I got in, now I'm getting an opportunity to work or serve or work at LCI. I think, this is something which I still enjoy. And I still feel that the culture is all still the same.
Still the same, yes.
MashaAllah, everyone here, speaks fearlessly. Yeah. And, and I don't see any constraint. We work with great young talents, and, they have all the latitude to add value. It's not a hierarchical. So that's something which I think keeps me still motivated. And and that's the reason perhaps I think I came back to LCI.
Okay, so we have gone to some serious detailed stuff, and now we want to switch the mode, switch the pace. So I'm going to do a kind of a rapid fire with you. Okay. You can't take more than 5 seconds for this. All right. And these are very simple, fun questions, but we would love to know your side of this, and I'm sure.
And what's in the hamper then if I do it in 5 seconds?
That we'll have to coordinate off the camera.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, you ready?
Ji.
Okay. So, your first choice, tea or coffee?
Tea.
Okay. Somehow I thought you were a coffee person. I don't know why. Okay. Favorite holiday destination?
Well, मुझे क्योंकि मौका मिला रहने का वहाँ पे 2-4 साल, तो स्विट्जरलैंड.
Okay, great. One thing you can't start your day without. हो ही नहीं सकता, मतलब.
यार वो चाय ही होगी, अगर रमजान नहीं है तो.
ये जो चाय पीने वाले होते हैं उनके लिए सबके लिए यही होता है भाई. Okay, ठीक है. Your favorite movie or TV show? Comfort show.
यार I think मुझे फ्रेंड्स बहुत अच्छा लगता है.
Really चलो सारे फ्रेंड्स के फैंस जो है ना बहुत खुश हो जाएंगे आज पे. Okay. If you had one superpower, what would it be?
पता नहीं, शायद manipulating time.
Wow.
अगर कुछ नहीं तो एटलीस्ट पॉज. अगर मैं रिवर्स ना कर सकूं या फास्ट फॉरवर्ड ना कर सकूं तो एटलीस्ट पॉज. बट एट टाइम्स यू नीड दैट.
Okay. If you were given the power to switch roles with anyone in the world, who would it be?
मुझे ऐसा पता नहीं, जैसे मैंने कहा कि जब हम बड़े हो रहे थे तो हमारे माँ बाप पढ़ाई पे बड़ा जोर देते थे. और देना भी चाहिए क्योंकि आप और हमारी नानी इनफैक्ट जो है वो B.Ed थी और वो पढ़ाती थी और तो हम उनको भी देखते थे. तो हम फिर तो मुझे पता नहीं अगर अल्लाह करे ऐसा मौका मिले या तो शायद कोई रिमोट विलेज हो, उसका कोई टीचर हो, उससे अगर मैं स्विच कर सकूं.
I wasn't expecting this answer because इतने सारे लोग होते हैं, उसमें पर्सनैलिटीज़ की बात होती है, but this is very interesting.
Because I think मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि पढ़ा लिखा बच्चा या पढ़ा लिखा खानदान बहुत चीज़ें बदल सकता है. तो आई थिंक अगर मौका मिले तो शायद वो कर सकूं या करना चाहूं.
एक चीज़ जिससे आपको बहुत डर लगता है, you're the most scared of that thing.
नहीं, मुझे अल्लाह न करे कोई ख़ास, अल्लाह न करे कोई ऐसा डर नहीं है. हाँ, देखिए जिन लोगों के साथ मैं रहता हूँ यानी कि मेरी फैमिली, और जिन लोगों के साथ मैं बहुत ज़्यादा वक्त गुजारता हूँ यानी कि दफ्तर, अगर उनके घर में सब खैरियत है और खैरियत रहे तो बस मुझे बहुत इत्मीनान रहता है. ये डर लगता है खुदा न खास्ता कि चीज़ें आगे पीछे होती रहती हैं. तो सबके घर में खैरियत रहे, फैमिलीज ठीक रहे, और लार्जर पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ.
But these are vulnerabilities that I get it, but कुछ तो डर होता है. किसी को स्पाइडर से डर लगता है, किसी को किसी और चीज से डर लगता है.
अगर आप किसी चीज से पूछें तो मुझे किसी भी हिलती हुई चीज से बहुत डर लगता है. तो
What does that mean?
मिसाल के तौर पे छिपकली, मिसाल के तौर पे लाल बेग, کیونکہ یہ کافی ٹرکی اینیمل ہوتے ہیں, ان کا پتہ نہیں ہوتا کہ ادھر بھاگ جائیں.
سو خاص طور پہ اڑنے والے جو ہوتے ہیں. اوکے, گریٹ. اوکے, what do you notice first in someone's personality when you meet them? کوئی سب کا اپنا اپنا ہوتا ہے, کوئی بات کرنے کا طریقہ دیکھتا ہے, کچھ دیکھتا ہے.
میں جنرلی یوزلی میں پوری کوشش کرتا ہوں کہ فوراً سے جج نہ کروں میں. اچھا, کیونکہ دیکھیے پہلی دفعہ آپ ملتے ہیں, وہ سچویشن کیا ہے, وہ کون ہے, کسی اور دماغ سے میں پریشانی ہے, تو تھوڑا سا وقت لیتا ہوں. پہلی بات تو یہ, لیکن زیادہ تر کوشش یہ کرتا ہوں یہ سمجھوں کہ اس کے ویلیوز کیا ہیں, اس کا ڈی این اے کیا ہے. لیکن باقی چیزیں سب صحیح بھی ہو سکتی ہیں, خراب بھی ہو سکتی ہیں, کیونکہ یہ سب آپ دنیا میں آتے ہیں نا, تو آپ ایکسپوز ہوں گے, آپ اچھا برا سب سیکھیں گے. لیکن اگر آپ کا ڈی این اے ٹھیک ہے پھر سب ٹھیک ہے. So that's actually, I try to notice at times or try to observe. Yeah.
One embarrassing mistake that you have done in your life?
Many,
No. You have 5 seconds. You have to tell us one.
میں نے جیسے کہا آپ کو کہ اس وقت جب میں نے غلطی کی, اپنے باس کے پاس گیا, تو پتہ آپ کو غلطی کیا تھی. وہ غلطی یہ تھی کہ میں ٹریول کر رہا تھا, شاید ٹرکی تھا یا پتہ نہیں, شاید, اور اس وقت ہر جگہ پہ یہ براڈ بینڈ ہوتا تھا, یہ انٹرنیٹ کا یہ تار شار لگتا تھا اس وقت. تو میں اپنے لیپ ٹاپ میں وہ دفتر میں ہوٹل میں تھا, تو میں نے وہ لگایا کیونکہ میں نے کچھ ای میلز ڈاؤن لوڈ کرنی تھی. اب مجھے کرنا یہ تھا کہ ڈاؤن لوڈ کرنے کے بعد وہ تار نکال دینا تھا, تو جو کہ میں نے شاید نہیں نکالا. تو جب وہ میں چلا گیا پھر کہیں بیٹھے ہوا, تو جب اس کا بل شل آیا تو اچھا خاصا بل تھا اس کا. اب میں نے کہا یار مجھ سے کیا ہوا ہے, آئی واز ناٹ سو مچ. تو خیر میں گیا ان کے پاس, جب میں نے بتایا آپ کو, بڑا ڈرتا گھبرا تھا, اچھے خاصے پیسے ہوتے تھے اس زمانے میں.
آف کورس,
تو میں ان کو بتانے گیا, تو جو انہوں نے مجھے جواب دیا میں نے ان کو بتایا. انہوں نے کہا کوئی بات نہیں, اگر سیکھ گئے ہو اپنی غلطی سے تو نو پرابلم. تو وہ تھوڑا سا مجھے امبیرسنگ لگا, میں نے کہا یہ میں نے کیا کیا. بٹ یا
اینی لاسٹ میسج فار آور آڈینس whoever is listening to this podcast, whatever that comes to your mind, جو آپ کہنا چاہتے ہیں لوگوں سے.
Okay, first thing first, I think Adhiya, thank you for being a great host as well.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here. ایک سمپل سا جو میں یوزلی لوگوں کو کہتا ہوتا ہوں وہ یہ ہے کہ ورک ہارڈ پارٹی ہارڈر. ایک تو جو میں پریکٹس نہیں کر پاتا ہوں لیکن میں کہتا ضرور. لیکن اور دوسرا آئی تھنک میں آئی گو بیک ٹو ویئر وی اسٹارٹیڈ وین اٹ کمز ٹو LCI. پھر وہی بات ہے جو مجھے چیز بہت اچھی لگتی ہے اس آرگنائزیشن کی, وہ یہ ہے کہ ہم ایک جرنی میں ہیں جو کہ لائفس کو انرچ کرتا ہے. تو ہم کئی سارے کاروباروں کے اندر ہیں, لیکن شاید اینڈ آف دا ڈے ہماری پوری کوشش یہ رہتی ہے کہ کنزیومر, یوزر, پیشنٹس, جیسے فار ایگزامپل فارماسیوٹیکل, یہ پیپل, ہم ان کو وہ ساری اچھی چیزیں آفر کرتے رہیں جو پروفیشنلی ہمیں آج مینیج کرنے کو دیا گیا ہے. تو ہم اپنی کوشش کرتے رہیں گے اور لوگوں کو انشاءاللہ سرو کرتے رہیں گے.
Well, that was amazing. That was one good session with you. Thank you so much, Atif.